Naku mga kabibig, welcome back sa ating bagong YouTube channel. Ito na ha. Pasensya na if meron kayo narinig ng mga tiktilak ng mga manok kasi ang mga manok excited na rin sa bagong pasabog ngayon ng Japan. Nanawagan ang Japan mga kabibig na palayain na si Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte sa ICC. Ilalabas ng Japan si Pangulong Rodrigo Roa sa ICC at nagsalita na sila at nanawagan na sa United Nations. Yun kabibig. Yun ang pinakamagandang balita sa araw na ito. Hindi lang pala tayo ang nananawagan na sana makalabas si Mang Duterte, kundi ang Japan. Knowing Japan is a very strong country, in the same time, pakikinggan kaya na United Nations ang panawagan ng Japan. Bakit na si BBM nagpunta sa UN, nag-speech? Bakit hindi siya nanawagan sa UN na tulungan ang dating presidente natin? Kasi posible siya ang nagpakulong kay Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte sa ICC. Buti pa yung mga taga-ibang bansa. No, ito, i-share ka, bibig ko. I-share natin to. I-share nyo to ha. Good news to. Kasi pinag-usapan na talaga sa buong mundo. Ito ito ha. Japanese nanawagan sa United Nations na palayain si dating Pangulong Duterte. Sabi niya dito, nandito ako upang kondinahin ang isang matinding kawalan ng katarungan. Ang 80 years old na taong gulang na dating Pangulo ng Pilipinas na matapang na lumalaban sa na illegal, mga ganun, upang protektahan ang milyong-milyong Pilipino ay illegal na inalis sa kaniyang sariling bansa at pinanatili sa matagal sa pre-trial detention sa ICC sa The Hague. Sabi ni Shunichi Fujiki, ayan, Senior Researcher, International Research Institute of Controversial Histories. Yan ang kabibig. Naku po, meron ng Japanese na talagang nanawagan. And I'm sure hindi lang siya. Hindi lang isa Japanese na nanawagan, kundi maraming Japanese rin ang nanawagan, pati ang mga manok na nanawagan na rin. Ito, nagbigay ng pahayag sa United Nations Human Rights Council, UNHRC, ang Japanese senior researcher ng International Research Institution of Controversial Histories na si Shunichi Fujiki, kung saan nanawagan siya para sa agarang pagpapalaya kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte na kasalukuyang nasa detention sa Hague kaugnay sa kasong inihain sa ICC. Ang pahayag ni Fujiki ay inilabas sa panahon ng general debate ng UNHRC kung saan binanggit niya ang umano'y mga seryosong usapin tungkol sa proseso ng pag-aresto at detensyon ng ating Pangulo. Yan, buti pa yung mga taga-ibang bansa na intindihan nila itong proseso ng pag-aresto nila kay Pangulong Duterte at yung illegal na detention ni Pangulong Duterte sa The Hague. Bakit ang mga justices sa The Hague hindi nila naintindihan? Yun ang malaking tanong. Bakit yung ibang mga opisyal ng Pilipinas parang hindi nila ipinaglalaban ang isang Pilipino at ating sovereignty? Kasi kontra nila. Ito ang sabi ni Fujiki. I stand here to denounce a grave injustice. Yan. The 80 years old former president of the Philippines who bravely fought illegal to protect millions have been unlawfully removed from the homeland and held in prolonged pre-trial detention by the ICC in The Hague. This is political prosecution and not justice. Yan na. Tingnan nyo kakahiya, oy. Tingnan kami big, taga-ibang bansa. They have their interpretation, they have their understanding kung ano ang nangyari kay Pangulong Duterte. This is a political prosecution and not justice. The current administration, yan BBM, ikaw na talaga. Sino ba ang current administration yan? Di ba BBM? The current administration extradited him without due process by passing Philippine courts and violating national sovereignty. Sabi, binanggit din ni Fujiki na mahigit isang taong nang nasa pre-trial detention si PRRD mula noong March 11, 2025 at sinabi niya ang sitwasyon ay nagdudulot ng mga alalahanin tungkol sa karapatan ng akusado, which is true. Sabi niya, over 1 year pre-trial detention raises profound questions about compliance with their own statutes, quarantining, humane treatment, and speedy trial. We urge this council to demand humanitarian review and immediate release of President Duterte. Justice must be fair, not a weapon against the people. The majority of the Filipino voice will not be silenced, sabi niya. Ang naturang pahayag ay lumabas sa gitna ng patuloy na pandaigdigang diskusyon tungkol sa jurisdiction ng ICC, lalo nang matapos umatras ang Pilipinas sa korte noong 2019 sa panahon ng Administrasyong Duterte. Hanggang ngayon nanatiling mainit ang usapin sa loob at labas ng bansa. Ang kaso laban sa dating Pangulo kung saan nahahati ang opinyon ng publiko tungkol sa papel ng ICC at kung dapat bang ang mga kaso ay resolbahin muna sa loob ng sistemang panghukuman ng Pilipinas. Yun mga kabibig. Yun ang latest trending news ngayon. Talagang merong isang Japanese researcher, international researcher, ang sumampal, ang nagpamulat ng taga UNHRC kung ano ba talaga ang nangyayari. Dapat yun ang ilabas si Pangulong Duterte. Bakit hindi nyo kayang ilabas mo Duterte? Ano bang problema ninyo? Di ba kabibig? Tingnan nyo lang kabibig. Di ba? Pakinggan natin ang isang interview ni Attorney Harry Roque sa international media kung saan nakaabot na pala sa international media itong nangyari kay Pangulong Duterte at tungkol sa sa male-maletang bayad. Naku po, grabe, nakakahiya naman yan. Male-maletang bayad talaga. Pakinggan natin mga kabibig Let's watch this video and congratulations to Attorney Harry Roque. Talagang piling-pili ang mga iniimbitahan sa news, international media nito.
Has attended a mass to mark the first anniversary of the arrest of her father, the former president, Rodrigo Duterte, on an international criminal court warrant. She said this commemoration is a reminder for Manila to pursue its own course without external interference.
Today, we commemorate the first anniversary of an event that tested our democracy and the principles of due process and the rule of law. The extraordinary rendition or kidnapping of former President Rodrigo Duterte is a serious reminder that the law should never be used as a weapon for political or personal interests. The violation of an individual's rights through irregular processes is not just an attack on justice. It is a challenge to our national sovereignty. A truly free nation is run by its own institutions, independent of any external interference or dictates.
As a reminder for you, Rodrigo Duterte was arrested a year ago upon his arrival to Hong Kong and transferred to The Hague the same day. He's accused of crimes against humanity during his war on drugs between 2011 and 2019. The court is currently deliberating whether to confirm the charges against Duterte, with a decision expected in April. Duterte's supporters say the trial is illegal due to the Philippines not being under the ICC's jurisdiction. The country left the ICC in 2019 after the court decided to open an investigation into Duterte. Incumbent Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos said that Manila will not rejoin the organization. Well, let's cross live to Attorney Harry Roque now, lawyer and President Duterte's former spokesperson. Thank you so much for joining us. So today is the anniversary of the ex-president Duterte's arrest by the ICC. What's the latest on the former president's situation and the procedural status of the trial?
Well, there's a pending appeal in the appeals chamber of the ICC, arguing that the court has lost its jurisdiction because the prosecutor triggered the jurisdiction of the court by asking for leave to conduct preliminary investigation on the second year of the country's having withdrawn already from the ICC. The Rome Statute says that any cooperation after a state had withdrawn should be started within 1 year. So on that ground alone, it's very clear that the court has lost jurisdiction. Moreover, because the surrender of President Duterte did not comply with the Rome Statute, he was not first brought to a local Philippine court before being extradited to The Hague. We have characterized this move as a kidnapping, an extraordinary rendition of the president to The Hague. And this now gives rise to a further challenge on whether kidnapping should result in the loss of jurisdiction of any court trying President Duterte. We believe.
Ito pa kalibig ha, ito yung
Anniversary of the-
ito yung other interview ni Attorney Harry Roque. Share ko sa inyo ha. Ang sobrang galing Attorney Harry Roque. Talagang mapapabilib ka sa kanyang talino. Parang ano ba, kung ating ihambing kay Claire Castro, parang ang layo. Ewan ko kung bakit si Claire Castro. Ito na. Ganatin ha.
Spokesperson of the Philippines, Harry Roque. Now, Harry, I'm glad to have you join me now. So, Duterte's, thank you. So, Duterte's counsel argued that the case against his client rested on, quote, political demagoguery, and that during the legal proceedings, there have been attempts to influence political outcomes. What do you think about this?
The Philippine president has always maintained that the ICC no longer has jurisdiction over the Philippines because we had withdrawn, and that the prosecutor started the preliminary investigation on the second year after the deposit of instrument of ratification, when the duty to cooperate after withdrawing should be complied with only if jurisdiction of the court is triggered within a period of 1 year after the instrument of withdrawal. No? This is a legal defense because either the court has jurisdiction or it does not have jurisdiction. And we all know that the jurisdiction of the court, being a court created by virtue of treaty, rests on states' consent freely given. And in the case of the Philippines, as in the case of Russia and Israel, the Philippines had already withdrawn. And at the time the preliminary investigation was authorized, we were no longer a member, and hence no obligation to cooperate and recognize the jurisdiction of the ICC. That has been the consistent position of the president, the former president. And he has said that he has accepted his peace within his cell, knowing that the court has no jurisdiction. He does not recognize the jurisdiction of the court. And he says that even if he is locked away in faraway Hague, his heart and soul remain with the Filipino people in the Philippines.
All right. Now, the counsel argued that the current administration previously refused to cooperate with the ICC, like you have said, but suddenly changed its stance. Now, why do you think that happened? What are the chances of actual political interference in the trial?
We're finding out that the earlier statements of Marcos Jr., who, as you know, is a drug addict, is all a lie, because while he was saying that they would not cooperate with the ICC, we now have information indicating that he has, in fact, extended full support to the ICC, which negates what he has said. And the reason for this, I think, is Marcos, it's in his genes to want to stay in office forever. And I think the plan is this time around, they will not allow the people to remove them from power. And that means destroying the biggest threat to their political reign, and that is the Duterte family.
Okay. So Duterte's counsel described his client as a unique phenomenon in Philippine politics, as he used controversial methods to uphold public order. What do you make of that assessment?
I myself did not start as a Duterte supporter, but I was won over by his unconventional ways. He's very refreshing in his ways. He has none of these polished speeches. He has only raw sincerity, and I think that's what won the people's heart. The fact that he is for real. He knows how the people feel, and is able to address the aspirations of the people. He truly is a unique leader, which explains why when he left office, he enjoyed unprecedented approval rating of 80%, a feat that no other president has achieved in Philippine history.
Now, supporters point out that other global leaders, including Benjamin Netanyahu, remain in power despite serious allegations. Why is the ICC so determined to hold trial against Duterte, when individuals like the Israeli Prime Minister have not faced similar scrutiny?
You know, in the 2024 Assembly of State Parties of the International Criminal Court, discussion had already begun whether or not the court should continue because they have no cases in their dockets. They do have many individuals who have been issued warrants of arrest, including Netanyahu and President Putin, but they don't have the means to apprehend them and therefore don't have the means to proceed with trial against them. No? Now, Duterte is an existential issue for the ICC. It is their justification to continue to exist as a support, and that is why my prediction is regardless of guilt or innocence, they will proceed against Duterte because they feel that it is better to have an ICC to accord remedies to victims of the most heinous crimes, even at the expense of the individual fundamental human right of Duterte.
Now, does this reinforce concerns that the ICC disproportionately targets leaders from smaller or even developing nations?
Well, this is a unique case because it was Marcos Jr. himself who kidnapped and surrendered him to the ICC's jurisdiction. No? There was absolutely no cooperation because the records will indicate that there hasn't even been any request for cooperation made by the ICC. And yet, in order to eliminate the Duterte as a political opponent, they went ahead and pre-chartered a private jet that brought him to the ICC without compliance with the requirement of the ICC itself, their own statute, that he should have been brought first before a local court before being extradited to The Hague. It was a clear and simple case of kidnapping.
All right. Now, recently, Mr. Duterte's daughter, Vice President Sara Duterte, announced her candidacy for the 2028 election, even as activists have filed several impeachment motions against her. But how do you rate her election chances?
It's ironical that while the Marcoses sent Duterte to The Hague, they thought that would destroy the Dutertes as a political threat. The contrary has since happened. And the worst thing for the Marcoses now is for Duterte to die in prison, because that will absolutely guarantee the election of Sara Duterte as president, even if they resort to the worst forms of cheating and the worst form of vote buying. I think if something happens to the life of President Duterte while in jail, that seals the fate of Sara Duterte as the next president of the Philippines. No.
So yun po kabibig ang interview na ni Harry Roque. Sana makalabas sa Pangulong Duterte mga kabibig. At yung yung taga Japan, isang researcher, talaga nagsalita siya sa UN na ilabas na si Pangulong Duterte. Ano ang iyong reaction hinggil dito kabibig? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Bye everyone. See you next time.